The Tohoku earthquake made Japan the center of attention for most of 2011 and into 2012. At 2:46 p.m. Japan Standard Time, a 9.0 magnitude earthquake shook Japan for 6 minutes off the coast of the Sendai region in northern Honshu Island. Immediately after, a 40-meter tsunami crashed into the Japanese coast, taking buildings, cars, people, and anything in its path to be swallowed by the ocean. Both the earthquake and resulting tsunami was captured on video by residents, tourists, and CCTV, perfectly visualizing the violent nature of both. As of March 2015, the National Police released records of a total of 15,893 fatalities as a result of the disaster. The main highlight of the disaster was the extensive damage done to the Fukushima nuclear reactors, resulting in radiation leaking into the surrounding area, resulting in an evacuation of the area following a reactor meltdown worse than the one at 3 Mile Island in Pennsylvania. This has caused heated debate in Japan questioning the practice of nuclear energy into the country since it is an earthquake hot zone. While the earthquake sent Japan's economy into a deep recession, the country was able to come together and rebuild most of the affected areas within a year. Number 14. 2004 Sumatra earthquake and tsunami. It was just the day after Christmas in South Asia, and the beaches were packed with Christmas tourists from around the world and locals from the countries surrounding the Indian Ocean. At 12:58 UTC, an earthquake of 9.1 magnitude rocked the Indonesian island of Sumatra, sending a massive tsunami rippling the Indian Ocean and smashing large waves along the coastline. Locals and tourists alike filmed the scenes unfolding, initially expressing surprise over the extent the tides have washed out. While some recognized the danger of this, many remained on the beaches to observe it until it was too late. The waves smashed onto the resorts, and by the end, between 230,000 and 280,000 people were dead, and many more are still listed as missing. A majority of the dead were in Indonesia, and a total of 1.75 million people were displaced. The strength of the shockwave was enough for the tsunami to reach as far as Madagascar, Kenya, and even South Africa. Though casualties were considerably low compared to Indonesia, Sri Lanka, and India, which were the most devastated countries affected. It was the third largest earthquake recorded in history, and prompted one of the largest humanitarian responses, from donations all the way to volunteer and foreign aid relief. Number 13. 2011 Joplin Tornado. Missouri is a state located in the middle of Tornado Alley, and is no stranger to the phenomena. But on May 22, 2011, the city of Joplin was struck with a powerful F5 multi-vortex tornado, causing almost complete destruction to the city and surrounding area. As a haven for tornado chasers, many managed to capture the full force of the tornado, which ripped through the area for just over 40 minutes and picked up winds up to 320 kilometers per hour. In the aftermath, residents overlooked the complete devastation as entire neighborhoods were flattened, and many people now found themselves trapped in their homes and overturned cars. 158 people were killed, and 1,150 were injured as a result of the disaster. As procedure, emergency crews were immediately dispatched from across Missouri to aid in the search and rescue efforts, and Governor Jay Nixon declared a state of emergency for the Joplin area. In the early hours of May 23rd, Missouri Task Force 1 reached Joplin, and the rescue efforts began. By 2015, it was calculated a total $2.95 billion in damages. Charity donations and relief supplies soared into the area, and even caught the attention of the royal family of the United Arab Emirates, who donated laptops to 2,200 high school students in the Joplin area, and $5 million to help rebuild the Mercy Hospital, which was destroyed in the disaster. Number 12. Hurricane Sandy. Originating in the Caribbean, Sandy traveled up the entire eastern coast of the United States. The storm is best known for making landfall in New York City, temporarily submerging parts of Manhattan and the other boroughs underwater. The The storm lasted from October 22nd until November 2nd, 2012, dissipating over the Canadian Maritime provinces. By that time, 233 people were killed and $75 billion in damages were inflicted. When Sandy hit Jamaica, 70% of the residences were left without electricity, and the flooding caused in Haiti killed 54 people from drowning or waterborne diseases. The hurricane also became a hot topic of the upcoming presidential election, and incumbent President Barack Obama's response to the storm is credited as a deciding factor in his re-election days later. The HMS Bounty attempted to sail the ship out of harm's way, but tragically ran into the storm midway when winds changed Sandy's directions, leading it right into the ship. It sunk 90 miles off the North Carolina coast, killing 2 of the crew, including the captain. Number 11. Slave Lake Wildfires. This small town in northern Alberta, Canada was engulfed by massive wildfires between May 14th and 16th, 2011. Canada was in its height of its annual fire season, which amounts to approximately 9,000 fires every year around the country, and the wildfires that occur in Alberta rarely threaten populated areas. However, this particular fire quickly spread into Slave Lake, resulting in a mass evacuation of the town to avoid injuries and fatalities. Many evacuees filmed their flight from the town, showing the bellowing smoke above and the fires breaching the town. In total, 12,000 acres were burned and 433 buildings were destroyed, with a further 89 damaged. In total, 7,000 people were forced to evacuate, resulting in one of the largest displacements in Alberta history. Among the ruins were the town hall, library, radio station, and local mall. Despite the severity of the blaze, there was only one reported fatality due to a helicopter crash in the vicinity. An extensive investigation into the cause revealed arson was the likely cause of the inferno, though no person as of yet has been charged, and the investigation is ongoing. Number 10. Hurricane Katrina. The 5th hurricane of the 2005 season, Katrina also happened to be the most severe. Originating over the Bahamas, Katrina moved up to the southern American coast. New Orleans, Louisiana was particularly devastated after the levees meant to protect the city from flooding were breached, and gallons upon gallons of water flowed into the city. 108 billion in damages were reported in the aftermath, and between 1,200 and 1,800 people were killed. Katrina remains a high topic of discussion due to the controversial handling of the relief effort, or lack thereof depending on the perspective. The aftermath